Hi, welcome to Mr. Harrison's cooking show. Today you're going to be baking a cake. But oh no, I only have a measuring cup for 2/3. What can we do? What can we do if I'm supposed to measure 4/6 of a cup of flour into the batter? Let me think. What can we do? I feel like we did something like this. Can anyone help me? Can anyone help me point out what I can do? What can I do? Yeah. Oh, that is right. I remember that sometimes two different fractions are equal to one another. Let's look at our anchor chart that we did last week. Okay, so our anchor chart says equivalent means equal. Equivalent means equal. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Yeah, does equivalent mean equal? Can you help me? Can you explain that a little more? Right, yeah. Okay, so we recognized that last week two fractions are equivalent if they're the same size and the same shape. So let's take a look at 2/3 and 4/6 and let's decide if they're equivalent, because I'm going to need to bake this cake and I'm going to need to make sure I have the right measurements. I need to make sure that this 2/3 measuring cup will help me get 4/6 of flour in it. All right. So let's look at these two fractions and let me show you why I think they're equivalent. So equivalent means equal, right? So everyone remember that. Equivalent means equal. Again, last week we talked about two fractions being equivalent by being the same size, the same shape, and the same amount. 4/6 and 2/3 are in fact equivalent because anytime that you have a fraction with an even numerator and denominator, you need to reduce it to make it equivalent. I'm going to do this by taking half of my numerator. My numerator is that top number. So my numerator will be 4. So half of that will be 2. And I will do that the same for my denominator. So my bottom number, the denominator is 6. So half of that is 3. To get an equivalent fraction, we must divide by 2. And the first thing that we did was find a common denominator. The second thing that we did was divide both of our numerators by the common denominator. The third thing that we will do is identify our answer. So let's look at what we have. So up here, I have 4/6 written out. So 4/6 divided by 2 is what? Can anyone tell me what 4/6 divided by 2 is what? How do we divide fractions? Okay, so 4 divided by 2 is? Right, 2. Okay, good. All right, 6 divided by 2 is? Yes, 3. Okay, so our answer is 2/3. All right, let's take a look at two of the visuals that I have on the board. I have two circles. One has 4 out of the 6 parts shaded in, and the other has 2 out of the 3 parts shaded in. Both circles have the same amount shaded in, which means that they're equal. We have to have two fractions that are equal, which means that they are equivalent. Let's take a look at another example. So I have 1/4 and 2/8. 1/4 and 2/8. So I have to get 1/4 and 2/8 to see if they're equivalent. So are these two equivalent? Let's find out. Go ahead and put your cool shades on and let's determine if the two fractions are equivalent. All right, so if I have 2/8 and I need to divide it by what? 2/8, and what do I divide it by? These magic glasses are helping you identify equivalent fractions. 2/8, what do I need to divide it by? Yes, 2 is correct. Awesome, you guys are doing great. Kiss your brains. Kiss your brains. Now, what is 2 divided by 2? Can anyone tell me 2 divided by 2? 2 divided by 2. 1, that is correct. Okay, what about 8 divided by 2? Yes, 4 is correct. So let's look at our work. Are 1/4 and 2/8 equivalent? 1/4 and 2/8 equivalent? Think about it and turn to your partner and share your answer. Think about it. Think about it. I love seeing this work. You guys are doing fantastic. All right. So, are 1/4 and 2/8 equivalent? Yes! Fabulous job, friends. Those cool glasses helped you identify these fractions and determine that they were equivalent. All right, let's do another one together. Go ahead and take out your whiteboard and your marker. Let's look at 2/4 and identify if it's an equivalent fraction. Put on those cool thinking glasses and talk with your neighbor about what we should do first when we are looking at solving equivalent fractions. So during the time for my hook, I'll be dressed up as a chef, and I'll have measuring cups and a bowl and like some flour that I'm actually going to put in the bowl, and we're going to measure it out. So 2/3 and 2/3 would be 4/6.